Alrighty. We are in the third week of March. Lots of things are happening. March Madness is about to begin. Baseball's about to begin. But most importantly, the MJHL playoffs are on the horizon. And I am joined by Carter Spring.
Spirig. Yeah.
Spearing.
Yeah.
I'll get it eventually.
All good.
From the Niverville Nighthawks. And I always check if I'm pressing record here a few times. I've noticed that on a few, and they used to be in the left-hand corner. Yeah, so thanks so much for making the time and coming on the show tonight. I really do appreciate it. I know it's going to be full blast ahead probably in the next few days here as you guys kick off your series versus the Winkler Flyers.
Yeah, for sure. We're gearing up right now. So
Yeah. It's been pretty exciting, hasn't it been? And so, how long have you? So, tell us, Carter, how long have you been with Niverville?
I've been with Niverville for 3 years. So I was there for the first ever season,
Yeah,
which it was pretty surreal. It was a pretty cool experience that I got to be a part of. So
I mean that's good, right? And then again, Niverville. I've had conversations with Claire. So, hi, Claire. When he talked about getting this team to Niverville and that sort of thing, and I was kind of reading an article from the Carillon yesterday, dated October 15th, 2024. I almost said 2004. But just talked about, how your excitement of being the captain this year, of being with Niverville and that sort of thing. So how has that transition been for you?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's kind of a big jump. I mean, I had the opportunity to wear an A last year, which is kind of get me on the ropes, so to speak, with getting comfortable with me in that leadership role. But I definitely, captain's definitely a big jump. It's a big responsibility. I say you gotta kind of find what works within your group, what works within yourself. I mean, sometimes it sucks as much as it does, but sometimes you got to be the bad guy in some situations. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it. It's a kind of childhood dream of mine to be a junior hockey captain. So I was honored and super excited to fulfill that role for sure.
Yeah, most definitely, right. And there's only one per team, and with assistant captains, there's a few. So,
Mhm.
and again, this has been your first year doing that. So, what have been kind of the exciting points of that, and that sort of thing, highlights?
I'd say exciting point is just kind of obviously you're kind of I'd say a little bit more like the face of the team. I'd say definitely kind of puts a weight on your shoulders for sure. I mean, out in public and stuff. I mean, especially me being here for 3 years, I'd say most of the town seeing my face knows my name, so it's a cool experience. I mean, just walking around town at Tim Hortons and you got guys going for coffee and there's like, hey, how's it going? Like stuff like that. So it's a really cool experience and I loved it. So
Yeah. Well, you guys are kind of viewed as, I just remember when I was a kid and watching WHL guys, you guys are kind of viewed as, NHL guys, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
uh, you must have done some volunteering in the schools and that sort of thing. So a lot of kids, yeah, know you by name.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do a lot of volunteering, which is great. I mean, it's good to get out in the community. It's good seeing like the little kids come and support you. I mean, they bring most of the energy to the game, screaming and yelling, which is it always helps the guys play, makes it a little bit easier. So
Right.
doing those little things, going to visit the schools, it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, totally. And I've always said I've been to Niverville a few times, watching some games there, and I gotta say, like, you guys got a good game day production. It's with the volunteers and everything else, and I think we did the puck toss back a few months ago, my son and I. So I mean, there's a lot happening there, and again, it's big steps for the community. And I was there yesterday, and I mean that building there, it has the basketball and volleyball going on the other side. So it is a pretty happening place. What have you liked the most about living in Niverville? I forgot my mini stick actually.
Oh yeah, I've seen those around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say being in Niverville, the coolest part for me is just the community. I mean, I love it. Like just being around, volunteering, doing all those little things, just people remember you, they recognize your name, they see you like, oh, there's a Nighthawks. You'll be in a store and kid will come up, whisper to their parents and say, oh, look, it's the Nighthawks. So it's a cool feeling, I'd
Yeah,
say. It doesn't get any better.
for sure. And so, you've been here for 3 years, but tell us a bit, Carter, about your previous experiences in hockey prior to coming to Manitoba and being part of the Nighthawks. From what I understand, you grew up in Alberta.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up in Fort McMurray, played minor hockey there we were there for like 10 years. Fire, Fort McMurray Fire. I don't know if you heard of it, probably, but that happened. Kind of was a big deal,
Yeah.
obviously. And me and my family made the decision that we're gonna kind of part ways and move into the city more. So it kind of worked out for me because there's no AAA hockey there. So we moved my U 13, 14 year for Bantam. I got the opportunity to play AAA in Fort Saskatchewan for 2 years. Great experience. My second year, we won the championship, so that's something I'll always remember. And then yeah, I played my rest of my minor hockey around the city. I played a year at NAX at Academy there. I played U 15 there, and then I finished up U 18s in the city. So it's yeah, I've kind of been around a bit, but I mean it's always good. It's good to see new faces, meet a bunch of new players, new people, make new friends like that. And then my final year, I didn't really have a team like picked out. Like I wasn't drafted or anything. There's no draft in Alberta, so didn't have anything like that. I mean, obviously I was looking kind of to home, and then this opportunity jumped out. Hopped on a Zoom call with Mike McCully, and he just kind of sold Niverville to me first ever season. And I was like, jump at that opportunity, first chance I get. I mean, it's pretty much a clean slate going into junior hockey. Kind of got to work your way up. Obviously, it's pretty much on every team. And
Hmm.
this opportunity is kind of like, oh, okay, like you show up, then you could start out top six, top nine, whatever. So I mean, that was kind of the big selling point for me is just getting that opportunity to be on a brand new organization, brand new team, and yeah, it was probably the best decision I think I've made.
Yeah, totally right. And again, with hockey, it provides those opportunities like the volunteering in the schools and just again creating friendships. So you must have a lot of friendships throughout hockey. What have been kind of some of those mentors and relationships that you've had?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had tons of coaches, tons of strength and conditioning coaches. I mean, there's a couple that I worked with. One now he used to play in the CFL. His name's Kwame. He's now a motivational speaker. So I worked with him in Fort McMurray.
Okay.
And then you might know this guy Dexter Janke played on the Blue Bombers. He was on the national team for bobsledding there. Now he's coaching football. I got the opportunity to train with him, so that's
Nice.
obviously a big connection there, I'd say. And then just coaches like they molded me for my career where I am now, and then as well as players. I mean, I still try and stay in contact with numerous guys. I mean, kind of never lose those friendships. I mean, it's even bigger now in junior hockey because you're with them for 8 months of the year. You see them every day. Where in U 18, it's kind of 2 or 3 hours, like 3 to 4 or 5 times a week. So, but here it's every day you come to the rink, you see them. So it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I still talk to guys from my first year, so
Nice.
it's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the group chats going on and that sort of thing. I assume I talked to a former Steinbach Piston a year ago. They're still in a group chat from the team that won the Anava Cup in 2018. So he says, yeah, when you win, it creates that bond. I think you've been a part of something special there in Niverville. Like just, there are other teams, but that consistency, I can see it. I can see it going up.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? I'll go on record. I like your chances versus Winkler. I mean, it's just, it's this continuous progression, if you will.
Mm.
So I think that's been, really neat to see the winning seasons, etc. So how's that been personally for you on that?
Yeah, obviously it's great. I mean, everybody loves winning. Everybody hates losing. So yeah, just seeing the boys in the organization succeed, it's obviously great. I mean, it draws more people in to come watch you if you got a winning record, you're playing good, you're playing with that swagger. So
Right.
it's definitely a big thing, especially going into playoffs. I mean, anything happens in playoffs. It's a clean slate. So and then if you want to win a championship, you're gonna have to play the best team regardless. So it doesn't matter if it's first round or in the finals. Just
Yeah, that's how it goes, right?
mm.
How have been the influence of your billets, in particularly, since you are in Niverville, your Niverville billets, and maybe some in the past that have played
Yeah.
a key role in your life.
So when I came here to Niverville, it's my first ever time billeting was 3 years ago, and I've had nothing but good experience. I mean, like so welcoming, like it's crazy. I mean, obviously you're a bit nervous for the first 2 3 weeks, and then it's just your family at that point, and you pretty much tell them everything. So it's like having a second family at home. I mean, I'll never forget these people. So.
Mhm. That's good, right? And people that have watched the show here, they know that we have billeted, so I understand those relationships and how they can be long lasting and that sort of thing, which is good. Was there a favorite player in the NHL you've kind of molded your game after?
Um, I mean, growing up, I love watching Wayne Simmons play. Just kind of tough, gritty kind of player. Just I mean, I'd say that's kind of as I model my game as not an insane skill guy. So it's just kind of guys like that. Obviously, you love watching all the superstars and all the cool stuff they do. Try and follow them, but realistically, you got to be real with yourself and kind of model yourself about players that kind of fit your game and your style, and you got to be yourself at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So,
Totally. So in being yourself, you have any superstitions, game day superstitions? I know, as a fan, what I used to do, I used to drive around the old Bomber Stadium once the night before a game. But what does Carter do?
uh, yeah, nothing too crazy. I mean, just preparation day before, practice, whatever, and then at night I go for an ice bath, kind of get the lactic acid out of the legs, get them feeling good, and then normally we got morning skate. Nothing too special. I have a nap before every game, so that's kind of I'd say the one superstition is a nap, and then when I get to the rink, I do the exact same routine every single time. Get to the rink, change out of my suit, then I'll tape a stick. Um, then I go up for warm ups about hour before we go on for warm ups, on ice warm ups. Do that, but it takes about 20 minutes. And I'm normally the first one in the room getting dressed. Kind of just my thing. I don't like to be rushed. Like everything to fit right. Everything goes on right to left, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Pre-game meals, chicken and rice, like pretty much every single other hockey player. So nothing too special.
Yeah, for definitely that's so good. When you were talking about left to right, you may have to look him up, but I can't help but think about Normar Garcia Parra, his with his tradition in the batter's box, but with the pitch clock, there's no way you'd be able to do that now. Is there a favorite rink that you like playing in the MJ besides Niverville?
I'd say my favorite rink to play in would be well, now Steinbach has a new rink, but that old Steinbach rink my first year. I mean, the atmosphere is just crazy, especially that's who we opened the first ever game to.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
yeah, that rink was packed. I mean, it was crazy. It was really cool experience. I love playing in that rink. It's always packed. I mean, it's it's pretty much our rival. So it's always fun games to be a part of.
Right, you gotta maybe stop in Mitchell for a coffee on the way home, but
Yeah.
or the way here. But I've heard that before because the crowd was always over top,
Mhm.
and um, I was asked to describe it on Winnipeg radio, and I said like 12 years ago they would fit like 1,300 people in there, but they would have to have the fire trucks outside because
Yeah.
they're pushing fire code. I didn't say that on the air, but
Yeah.
I guess I am now. But I didn't, you know. So I'm like, okay, all right. And now it's like, but yeah, just like yeah. So when you're on that ice, you can feel it just as much as us, as if not more. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the crowd definitely feels your game. So
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I'm almost thinking Niverville should get a bigger rink the way the population's growing. And I've been to games there, and it's been pretty packed. So I mean, again, I remember Niverville as I went to college just down the way. I'd go down the gravel road. There was a little coffee shop, and now you guys are getting a McDonald's and all this other stuff, and getting it's just it speaks to it, and hockey's just part of it, and it creates that community and relationship. Um, and so I think that's awesome.
yeah.
And where was I headed? No. I asked you how you model your game after. Where do you plan to be post hockey? What does the future look like? Or
Um, I'm kind of still a little undecisive. I mean, I'm going to college, university, so I'm gonna go into physical education
Mhm.
with hopes possibly going into physiotherapy or firefighting.
Nice.
I've also thought a lot about going into trade school as well, and then in hopes of starting my own business up. So that's kind of keeping my options open. I mean, try it for 1 year. If I'm not enjoying it, don't like it, kind of switch, try something new. I mean, I've always been told growing up, don't worry about the money. Do something that you love every day. So that's kind of how I'm going about it.
Yeah, then they say you never work a day in your life, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I forget who had said that, but I did hear that, I think, from some sports broadcaster. Just throwing it out there. You've had some great fire and ice banquet guests. Now, I'm not sure on the date on this one. Has Cody Eakins talked at the banquet already?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We
Yeah.
had our awards banquet. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, and then you had Ray Neufeld last year.
Yep.
So, was there anything that you kind of took from Ray or Cody in those fire and ice speeches?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, like they played at the top level for like over 700 plus games each. I think so. Obviously, yeah, their stories are pretty cool. They're quite a bit different, obviously, a little older school and newer school. So, but yeah, you still take a lot from both. I mean, they both seem like great guys. They've done it all. So it was cool to hear their story growing up and then playing in the NHL and stuff like that. So it's something you always kind of keep in the back of your head.
Yeah, and Ray was actually on a Jets broadcast with Pokey Reddick a few weeks ago, and just yeah, that experience and everything else, and those obstacles and that sort of thing that he had to face. So um, again, it's and this is what I say, right? Like hockey is more than that 2.5 hours on the ice, and I always say that for coaches, but particularly for players. So again, for you, the coaches said, "Okay, Carter, we're picking you as the captain, providing that leadership." So again, and you've spoken to this already, but it's a pretty big honor.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget it. I mean, it's cool. Having people look up to you, it's definitely it's a big honor, and then obviously it comes with a big responsibility. But I
Mhm.
think if you're getting picked for it, I think you got that responsibility. So
Most definitely. Should I ask you about the weekend coming up? We're pretty excited going to the into the Madhouse into Winkler. I was there for the final game versus the Pistons last year, and the place was the zoo. Uh, um, air horns, everything else. How you guys feeling going into it, and that sort of thing? How's the vibe in the room?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, we're not stressing too much about it right now. I mean, we got a full week of practices coming up to gear up. We just beat Portage 2 games back to back on I think Wednesday and Saturday there, so that was huge as they just beat them in a 2-1 game. So
Right.
kind of I'd say gives us a little bit more hope. But yeah, going into Winkler, obviously, I won't lie, playing in that rink, it's not easy. I mean, fans are they're diehard, I'd say. So, but yeah, they're playing in the other side now, so different rink from my
Okay.
previous 2 years. Yeah, I think their old rink's getting renovated.
I knew about the reno. I didn't know on the
Mhm.
time. I got to get up to date. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're at Renault's done yet or not, but yeah, just the Winkler atmosphere. It's great. I mean, the fans are so passionate. It's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, it definitely is, and I know a lot of people in the Winkler area, and when they had won, they hadn't won in forever, so I changed my profile pic to a Winkler Flyers for about 24 hours, and change
Oh,
it
really?
back. So, but yeah, it's the growth of the MJ, right? Like, um, again, it's good to have this, competitive balance. We see way getting in yesterday. Verdon's going home. Yeah, other teams are kind of rising to the crop, and I mean, yeah, there are the elephants in the room of the Freeze and the Blues, but I think that picture could look different next year. I have no no backing for that, but it's good to play competitive games and to be part of a competitive league. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it just makes everything that much better. I mean, you obviously you want to push yourself to the next level. I mean, when you go up into college and university, which is the next step for most guys, you're playing against guys 5 years older than you.
Yep,
So
no doubt. Is there a particular moment in your MJHL career in the last 3 years that has stood out to you? Again, the playoff series, is there a particular game, particular goal? You have 173 games played in those 3 years. So,
yeah.
you got to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll kind of point out too. Obviously, first year, first game in our rink. I can't remember the exact attendance, but stands. We have stands on the one side, completely packed, so probably 1,300, I'd say. And then we had a watch party going on in the field house there, so probably another 1,000 people, and just getting to skate on that ice for the first ever time, first ever season was just some I'll never forget it. The atmosphere there it was insane, and then kind of had a little meet the players after. That was pretty cool. I was in the field house there as well, so that was obviously a cool experience. And then I'd say hockey wise playing last year we were playing the Terriers at home. It was a regular season game, and we were down 3-0 with I think 8 minutes left in the third. I was playing with Michael Tanchuk and Ty Kennett. He's still here. He's still playing with us. I'm living with him now, actually. So, but yeah, we tied it up 3-3. I had 3 points with those two other guys, and then go out first shift of overtime, get an assist on the overtime winner. So 4 point night for me, 2-2, and I'd say it's probably the stats wise best game of my life, obviously. And it was just yeah, it was such a cool experience to share with those guys. So
Right. Yeah, it's and the crowd was going wild in the process, right?
for
So,
sure, exactly, yeah.
again, I can just see the kids, getting by the rails, giving you high fives and that sort of thing. So that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing those experiences. Um, I'm not sure what more I have. I can ask about favorite hockey team or that's so I'll ask you about favorite hockey team, favorite NFL team.
Uh Hockey team, Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Always been an Oilers fan, so they're gonna win the cup this year. I got got high hopes for him.
Yeah.
And then NFL, I'm not big into the NFL, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
So I'll just say the Packers.
Okay. Hey, that's all right. They got Jordan Love, the $55 million man a year.
Yeah.
I chuckle a bit. Did you guys? Yeah, you guys played. You guys have played on some Super Bowl Sundays, if I recall. So, but that's how it goes. Uh, so, so how's the focus in the room? I have to ask.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it kind of gets a little off topic, obviously. Kind of everybody kind of wants to check their phones and stuff, but we all know we have a task at hand. But yeah, this year's been crazy. Four Nations gold medal. We were playing Winkler. Um,
Okay, I missed. Okay, February
yeah,
20th. Okay,
yeah. So we missed that. We finished our game in time. We got to see the overtime goal. So
yeah,
at least that was good. Played on the Super Bowl. Played on the Grey Cup as well. So
right.
this year is kind of miss all those events, but it's just kind of how the schedule falls. So
Well, I mean, at least you saw the overtime game, and the two other games weren't, they weren't much of a game. So,
yeah,
I
there.
mean, that's how I would look at it. Let's hope November 16th. No games are scheduled. You and me can't control that. And again, that's just how it is.
Exactly.
Um, Anything else you'd like to cover? I did a big and I try to keep those out of me. And then my light went out, so I try not to be in the dark, and I don't think I'm as fuzzy as I was last week. But anything else you'd like to cover? If there's something I haven't mentioned that you'd like to bring up, Carter?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. It's all right. I gotta tell you, your hair's a bit longer than the picture I posted on the Facebook on my Facebook page, but it's all good. It's the hockey
Yeah,
hair. My 8-year-old
yeah,
son is doing the same thing. So
yeah.
he's growing a mullet. So
Okay, yeah,
that's a mullet, but that's all good. But yeah, Carter, I want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story. I always say to people, if you ever want to come on again, I'd love to have you on. See where you are in your life's journey. But yeah, I want to thank you again for sharing about yourself, because I always believe everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story is important at the end of the day. So
yeah.
wish you and your team well as you take on the Flyers, and maybe we'll see you in Steinbach.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. No worries. Anytime. Take care. God
Yeah,
bless.
you as well.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.